Welcome to SDH's coverage of the NPSL semifinals. After this weekend, we find out who's playing in the championship game. We'll catch you up with a couple of the teams through the conversations that we had on the SDH Network on the SDH Network's morning show, as well as checking out local media and seeing what is going through their minds with the clubs that are in their particular footprints as we get ready for the Final Four. So the Final Four teams in the NPSL for the championship in 2024. Your matchups are on the eastern half of the planet. It is Columbus United traveling to FC Motown. And the western half of the country takes it both the Midwest and the West. Duluth FC gets to travel to San Francisco and take on El Farolito out of the NPSL. So those are your two matchups. What we have found is a couple of different pieces. We'll start off with our friends at El Farolito and what it means for this club to be a part of the fabric of soccer in the Bay Area. And for this story, we head to our friends at KPIX and CBS Bay Area to tell the story of El Farolito.
Soccer interest in the Bay Area is on the upswing, all thanks in part to the newly formed Oakland Roots, as well as an older club from San Francisco, whose name you're most likely to see on the back of tacos, as you are on the pitch with Lauren Ayub.
From the kitchen to the field, the El Farolito story may have begun with tacos, but it's moving forward with new goals. Every kick gets him closer to his goal. Gabriel Arias is a center midfielder with the El Farolito Amateur Soccer Club in San Francisco. The team started back in 1985, named after the owner's chain of beloved Bay Area taquerias. At 25 years old, even after college, Gabriel says he's grateful to have an outlet to continue to do what he loves with a community he's grown to love.
It means a lot. It brings peace of mind to me, being able to step on the field with my teammates. I like to call them brothers.
A team of brothers of all ages and backgrounds. The club team plays in the National Premier Soccer League, and while the players are all passionate about the sport, most have regular day jobs to allow them to continue to do what they love. As for Gabriel, he's been working hard to balance being a construction engineer by day and soccer athlete by night. He hopes to play professionally one day, but sometimes, even during practice, those work demands continue.
It's a whole different world, being an engineer in the field of construction. There's way more stuff going on. When you come here, it's all just brotherhood.
A brotherhood that evolved when the original owner of El Farolitos, Salvador Lopez, opened his first taqueria in the Mission. Now, with 12 locations throughout the Bay Area, diners who frequent the chain, like Taylor Burks, love supporting the sport, too.
I love soccer. I'm a soccer player myself, so it's good to support soccer wherever I can, and the burritos are good, so it's a win-win.
And speaking of winning, from the Open Cup to their strong standings in the NPSL, just how far can El Faro go? Well, according to Gabriel, all the way. He wants people to know just how passionate the Bay Area soccer scene is.
There's great talent here. More scouts should come out here and look at all the talent there is.
Talent, passion, and limitless goals.
The team's next game is May 4th in San Francisco against the Oakland Stompers.
Then a bit of an update with our friends at Columbus United, who are on the road, and they are traveling to the Northeast to take on FC Motown in the right-hand side semifinal as you stare at the United States and the 48 contiguous. And our friends at WTV-MTV in Columbus caught up with Carter Berg, Xavi Scotto, Mo Tucker, and Damian Dominguez about what it's like to be chasing after a title and only being 2 wins away from that title.
Columbus United FC has really made some great history this year. In their first season, they're just 2 wins away from a national championship. Sports contributor Steve Pineda has more on this remarkable run.
From 90 teams down to 4. I'm back here at Cadet Stadium where Columbus United Football Club are wrapping up their final preparations as they head into Saturday's huge national semis matchup against Motown FC in New Jersey. Now this team, bit of a Cinderella story, has exceeded expectations time and time again, and they'll look to do so again come this Saturday.
It's been crazy. We've been in North Carolina, we've been in Jacksonville, we've been in Texas, we're going up to New Jersey now, but honestly I think we're ready for it, and we've done it enough now over the last month that I don't think anything will faze us. So
we're all really close together. We all really want to win this whole thing, and now that we know that we're capable of doing it, I think that we're going to do it.
Just 2 wins away from what would be a Hollywood ending to what's been the Cinderella story of the summer. And if you ask the guys, a lot of the credit falls on the shoulders of head coach Brett Teach.
I met him when I was like 13, 14, and he definitely put an imprint on me and how to play and how to take the game to the other team.
I've been with a lot of coaches, and Coach Teach is one of the top of my list. He doesn't only care about you on the field; he cares about you off the field. Always looking out for each other, making sure everyone's great.
A great group of hardworking guys having a summer to remember, who know they've earned the right to be here on the national stage.
I believe that dreams don't work unless you do, and obviously, we're working hard and trying to make our dreams come true. Like I said, everybody said it's the first year. We're lucky, but we deserve to be here. We've proven we deserve to be here, and at our best, no one can play with us.
And as previously mentioned, Columbus United hitting the road tonight as they head to New Jersey for Saturday's huge national semis matchup against Motown FC. Just 2 wins away from adding another one of these bad boys to the collection. For now, reporting from Kinnett Stadium, Steve Pineda for WTVM Sports Leader 9.
Then on the SDH Network this week, we caught up with Columbus United head coach Brett Teach, Duluth FC owner John Shuster. Yes, that John Shuster, from multiple medal wins in the competition that is held with a lot of different countries every 4 years or so. So here's the conversations that we had with Brett and with Shusty as they're getting out of the quarterfinal round and heading into the semifinal round. Here's their stories. All right, so my first question is, where are you?
I'm in my apartment in Columbus. We were having some trouble getting the link to work, and so sorry I was a couple minutes late. My main web browser is Safari, and this one only works with Chrome. So I had to switch over, and then, of course, I didn't know my password for my email. We got in really late last night. Our flight was – so we flew from Midland to Houston on Sunday, and when we got to Houston, we were on the runway, and we couldn't get to our gate, so we sat there for 35, 45 minutes, and we watched our flight to Birmingham leave.
Oh, man.
Even though we had a third of the flight and every other flight was delayed in the entire airport, United Airlines decided for whatever reason this flight to Birmingham had to get off on time. So I did delay it 15 minutes for us, but we were in. So our flight left at 8:05. We were sitting on the runway at 7:30, and so even though we were a third of the flight, so they left with only 2/3 of the flight full because we had 20 guys. And then we couldn't get everybody back. So they said, yeah, we can get you back by Friday. So yesterday we rented 2 minivans, and myself and our ops director, along with a couple of our older players, tag team to drive from Houston. But it gets better. Instead of driving to Columbus, which would have been the easy thing, we had to drive to Atlanta, then to Columbus, because Columbus Airport doesn't accept one-way rentals. So instead of us being able to drop them off the next day, they only rent them for 1 day. So our guys, the half of our team that had to ride with us, had to ride. All in all, we were on the road for about 16 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so needless to say, we lost another training day today. I couldn't ask the guys that drove with me to get out and do anything. So I'm not training at 10. So that's the one positive. But we got here and we're all safe. And in the end, if it's the worst thing that ever happens to us, we'll be fine. But it was an unnecessary thing. Could have waited another 15 minutes. We'd have been on the flight. But really kudos to Hitch and his team for getting us home. We didn't love the drive because it's really long. Mm-hmm. When you're hitting New Orleans, you're only halfway home. Yep. And then what's really worse is you get to the exit to go to Columbus on 85.
You still got to go.
You still got to go another 2 hours the other way and then back down. And we even tried to rearrange a couple of things, but it didn't quite work. So, it is what it is. The guys were great. They're troopers. I mean, we've been on the road forever now. It's funny. We started our season with 4 of our first 5 games on the road, and we're ending it with 5 games in a row on the road. Or 6 if we win the next one, it'll be 6 straight road games to finish it. So, we're road warriors. We're used to it. And we're probably going to end up having to bus to New Jersey.
Whoa.
16 hours. Well, would you trust the airlines?
True. Good point. Understood.
And so with a bus, we control as many variables as you can control. So, we'll go up, we'll leave on the evening of Thursday and go up all night. And it's not ideal. And it's not what I want to do, but we get there.
Okay.
And so, we're fortunate, I think you always have to look at both sides of things and look where you're fortunate as well. This didn't happen Friday. When the rest of the world was having all kinds of problems, like when I was talking to you on Friday, we were an hour delayed, but we got to Midland with no problem. So we're able to play, no competitive disadvantage. And so, I don't want to seem like ungrateful, because I'm really grateful we got there. A lot of people, a lot worse shape than we are.
Right.
And so it is tough, but I'll tell you, our guys, the entire ride home, the only person who was complaining is probably me. I'm old and driving in a van that far, but quite frankly, no, the guys were great. It was a tough day, but again, they're resilient. They understood. They're not thrilled about the bus going up, but they all get it. They're like, yeah, because I said, look, I'll leave it to you guys. What do you think? These are our choices. We can fly and take our chances out of Atlanta, which is a disaster right now. My hometown, but it's a disaster. Or we can just bus. No, we're going to get there. Be a little less convenient. But we'll have everything there. And they're like, yeah, just do the bus. So, and in the end, it won't be an excuse. It's just how we had to get there. And it's not a financial thing. It's just a concern with, because Hitch gave me the choice. And I didn't trust that they would have everything resolved in time. And our travel agent was advising us, look, if you can get a bus, do it. So she just said, I can't guarantee you can get there. And so it's like, you know what? We'll just do it. And we've been on the road this long already. We got back from Hickory at 4 a.m. and then we're on a flight. We were up again less than 24 hours later, going to the airport in Atlanta to fly out to Midland. So guys are resourceful and they're tough and they're used to it. So we'll be fine.
All right. 5 more minutes with Brett Teach here as he catches his breath after travel adventures. So how was West Texas? It was a shootout, pardon the pun, knowing where the match is being played. But what are your takeaways from the matchup to get you into the Final Four?
Yeah, it was it was what I expected. It was a good game. One of the things out there was the wind was probably 20, 30 miles an hour. And so in the first half, we had the wind. So we got on them early, got up a couple of goals. I told the guys, look, they're going to have momentum at times, and they're a good team. And so you have to realize that I think we were a little unfortunate with a couple of the goals. There was some controversy about the penalty at the end. There's a little bit of controversy about their first goal because it looks like the ball's a yard out when the guy crosses it. But in the end, look, they're a great team. And I told the guys, I said, look, it doesn't matter in the end what happened. What matters is it's done. And now we got to figure out a way. And when we got to overtime, it was really going to be a matter whether we scored or we went to penalties, because we had all the play. And then I'll be darned, those guys were up 4-3 up a goal, and they got a ball. A guy beat our keeper, and luckily our center back cleared off the line, and that kind of ended the game. But just a really good team, well coached, a great attacking team. The kid from West Virginia, Luke McCormick, was outstanding. They're tough, and after the game, they were nothing but class. They were like, guys, congrats, what a great game. Because we were up 3-0, we hit the post to go up 4, and that would have ended it altogether. But, it was a great game, but it was worthy of an Elite Eight game. It just was. It was a great game. Both teams wanted to win. Both teams worked hard. Both teams are champions. Champions don't give up easily. And so I was proud of my guys, but I was also proud of their guys.
So then when do you start caring about FC Motown? Obviously today you're just kind of like catching your breath and sitting down and maybe parking in front of the TV, hanging out a little bit. But when do you start thinking about FC Motown?
I think the game ended the other night at about 9:30 Central Time, so about 9:31. My assistant, who wasn't able to travel, was already watching. He watched their game, took notes, sent me notes, and we started talking right away. No, I've probably watched half their season already.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, no, it's, again, this is what you do in college, and I'm a college guy. Because we have access to every game in Division I, I generally will watch the last 5 games of the team's season and then build scouting reports out. We do concern ourselves mainly with how we play.
Yeah.
We talk mainly about, because our whole game is about being on the ball and being, controlling the game. And we're averaging about 560 passes completed a game. And we're now getting to the point where we're converting that into goal scoring chances. And so we scored a lot of goals. We give up too many right now. And that's something I'd like to see us, try to mitigate. But, Motown's really good. It'll be a big challenge. But again, you're in the Final Four. It should be.
So when are you leaving and when is the match?
Match is Saturday night at 7. We're playing on the campus of Drew University. Normally they play Montclair State, but I think there's been a shift for some reason. We leave Thursday sometime after dinner. We'll drive all night. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Road Warriors, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Because my take is I do want them to have more than 24 hours to recover.
Right.
So we'll get there midday on Friday and they'll relax and we'll get to the hotel, probably do a little swim, a little walk, but we're not going to get out in the field. We'll just take it easy. And actually the crazy thing is, we're all over the place this week. I've got a camp at Mount St. Mary's with over 200 kids in it. So I've got to be there. And so I'm going to be with the team and then going up to there for the rest of the week. And our player coach, Jonah, is also an assistant coach at Mount St. Mary's. So he'll be with me there. And my assistant coach, who couldn't be at Nationals, will be running training the next 30 days. And so we're all just basically going to meet up and play. We're fortunate that our team is all here. We do have one kid who's he's going to fly in for the game because it was an international kid who's had family obligations in the U.S. His family came over, sees him once a year. So we said, go and we'll deal with it. And so fortunately, again, our organization is one that believes in our kids. And so they're going to make it possible for them to play in the game. So
be safe, be well. Good luck in the semis. We'll catch up with you soon, my friend. Thanks for dropping by.
Yeah, John, lead the way you do. It's outstanding. Look forward to hearing more about you.
All right, be good. Be safe. And there's a hot tag. It is 10 o'clock Eastern, which means it's Sean Shuster.
I'm on the move.
Where are you?
Our team is just finishing up, as I've learned to call it this year, training. So I'm trying to stay out of the wind, though. It's kind of windy. It's getting us ready for the wind we're going to see coming up this Saturday down in San Francisco.
All right, so let's go back a little bit. We had Brett Teach, the head coach for Columbus United, on before you. He gave us adventures in travel, and boy, were they adventures in travel. His team just got back to Columbus in full because of crowd strike and all of that. You mentioned everybody on a bus going to Pennsylvania. What was travel like getting there?
So for us, I had a delay in the morning coming out of Duluth, so I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get to the game. But luckily, the flight to Pittsburgh got delayed as well, and we were able to get there. As the game was being played, I got a notification from the airline that said, your flight's been canceled. So I hopped on the bus, and I took that bus ride home with the team, which I was actually very grateful to be able to do.
All right, break down the game for me. You said it was nuts. For those that didn't get the chance to see it, what happened?
I mean, we came out in the first 10 minutes, and I was still trying to book hotel rooms for our way back. I was on hold for a long time, and the game kicked off, and I was standing next to their owner, and they actually came out and sat back. We were expecting a high press out of those guys, and they sat back, and our guys did what they do, and were kind of relentless early, and went and put a goal in the net in the first 10 minutes, and got a 1-0 lead, and then they changed a little bit. They moved around a little bit more than that, and it was just a crazy game of soccer. It's an incredible organization. Their fan base reminds me very much of ours. A lot of youth, a mix of everybody from 80 years old to 8 years old. They had kids lined up along the fence, and the field we played on had a fence that was 3 yards away from the sideline, and there were kids chirping our left and right backs, depending who was on the near side the entire game. It was just an incredible atmosphere, and they equalized early, later in the first half, and then, we made a few subs, and one of those subs came in and got us back to a 2-1 lead, and we got to stoppage time, and they worked and got a corner, and they were kind of dangerous on set pieces all day, and a ball pinged around, and they scored in stoppage time to equalize it, and then one of our guys made a long run being aggressive a midfielder, and went in for a tackle and got there late and got an instant red. And so we played 11 on 10 for all of extra time.
Wow.
And the effort of our guys, I mean, you could see the tiredness in the legs of the other guys, and they made all of their subs, and we still had a few subs left, but we ended up making all of ours as well. And our guys worked like crazy, and Liam Pritchard, our right winger, made a run down the right-hand side that I've never seen anything like it. He had been playing, I mean, we were 100 minutes into the game, and he ran like the wind down there and got the ball down to goal line and centered it out there. And two of their guys kind of, I think, I got it, you take it, and one of our guys slipped between them. And Felipe Oliveira deposited one to the upper right corner, and we defended it off and ended up sneaking out of there with a win. I don't think you could, if you told me a team would go down one and stop, or would go, give up the equalizer in stoppage time, go down a guy for all of extra time and come out of there with a win without getting to PKs, I would have called you crazy. And that's exactly what the team did. It was wild.
I can sense, and there's this aura about you right now, about everything that's happened. It's almost like there's still a little bit of disbelief in you.
You know what? Not at all.
No?
I actually think, and that's where, talking to our coach, and maybe you'll get to talk to him here because he's going to walk by me. Maybe I'll have him pop on and say a few words because I just, heard your the Columbus coach on as well. So, which they've made a pretty improbable run here in the playoffs too. But we've always believed that we were the team that we thought we were coming into the year, the team that, finished the last year's regular season #1 in the country, and thought that we maybe even, upgraded in a few spots. So we expected to be here, and it was that belief that the coach, let the guys know, like going into extra time, like all we got to do is keep on grinding, keep on believing, and keep on working our butts off and outworking the other team. And I don't think just because they have another player that we're at a disadvantage here. And sure enough, I mean, they believed and they made it happen. It was really, really special.
Well, and about the value of belief on an international scale. What's it like for you to see that transform itself into something where you have a rooting interest and you want to see it succeed on your local and national level? What's it like for you to be on the other side of this, knowing that there is belief in those around you as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of what I'm doing is, in the stand, and that's where, I may not be able to go to the game Saturday because we had some major plans otherwise, but, I'm standing there in the stands, and every time that somebody makes a play that soccer people know is a heck of a play, but, doesn't necessarily get noticed on paper, doesn't necessarily, get recognized by the casual fan, or maybe the casual fan doesn't know these guys, and I know these guys all on such a personal level that, I'm the guy, and I got a loud voice. I'm used to yelling from my skipping that I do in curling, but I'm the guy in the stands that's up there encouraging these guys to keep grinding, and there they are right here. Let's see. Woo. Check to make sure. So yeah. Uh-oh.
Where is he? Where is Sean? Is he?
Yeah, well, I'll get him for you. He's usually the last guy to walk through here. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the team all kind of walks out, and generally, Sean is. You know what? He's probably honestly cleaning up cones and putting stuff back in our storage closet that they give us. So. Morning, boys. the camaraderie, and that's exactly it, though. The camaraderie amongst the team, and I know all these teams pretty much have it like that, but there's just something special and different about this group of guys, and we went 2,237 miles via bus last week.
Wow.
And when we got back here, there were host families and people back here to greet the guys at 11:40 at night when we got back on Sunday night, and these guys still walked off the bus with all the spirit of that they had. They didn't let that 2,200 miles take it from them. So pretty special.
That's crazy. 2,200 miles on a bus. You gonna write a book about travel adventures in the NPSL?
Yeah, something like that. So now, yeah, the reason I came to training this morning, besides with being able to be around these guys, is because a lot of them have a lot of names, and we got to book their travel through a travel agency, and I got to make sure we get that right so they don't get stuck in TSA. So.
How special has this?
All right, 1 second. Coach, you dressed in the team. You wanted to say hi to my soccer down here podcast, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
All right. See, he's got the playoff beard. I see how that
Yeah, my wife's not too happy, but it is what it is, huh?
All right, so Sean Morgan, the head coach at Duluth FC, dropping by as we're talking to the guy to your right who believes in superstition, or actually ritual. He's a little stitious. He's not superstitious. He says he's a little. What has this ride been like for you and the guys? And I mean that literally and figuratively. 2,200 miles on a bus, and you're now in the semifinals.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I mean, we've had a lot of these guys for a couple of years now, and the work and effort that they've put in over such a long period of time. I know that they're going back to their colleges and stuff, and we've kept in contact throughout the last 2-3 years, in some cases 4, and for them to do it the way that they've done it is just, honestly, it's like a fairy tale, like a dream, and it's no more than they deserve for the work that they put in. Like, we're doing 7 a.m. sessions. I think we tallied it up. We've done 52 training sessions since May 7th, I think. So a lot of time spent together, a lot of time on the pitch, a lot of time on the road, and just to get it done in the way that we've done it. Still got one more to go, so looking forward to this weekend.
Shusty was breaking down the match and how everything happened in Pennsylvania from your perspective there on the touchline, where apparently the fence that surrounds the field might have had a good 3 yards between you and the fans, and you're catching a whole lot of grief the whole time.
Oh, no, that was the other sideline, though.
Okay. Well, then let me ask you this. What was it like for you on the touchline as Shusty broke down all the craziness where late equalizer, down a man, get the win? What was it like for you and the staff on the touchline navigating all of that stuff late?
Yeah, nerve-wracking at times, to be honest. And I mean, like I've played football since I was 4 years old, and the team that concedes in the 90th minute and then goes a man down, like, they never ever win the game. So for the guys to believe in themselves and to keep playing and stick to our principles and how we want to play, and then still get it done, was just fantastic. A man down, and the heart that they were able to show just to defend off one of the best teams in the country at this level is just fantastic. And kind of go through the gamut of emotions and relief at the final whistle and how slowly time's going in the extra time, the last 15-minute period. So yeah, it's just you can't quite believe what you're seeing at times, and for us to get it done in that way, and as soon as the whistle went, like, I mean, I held it together for a little bit, but I ended up just breaking down a little bit too. But yeah, just fantastic, unbelievable feeling, and go through the whole gamut of emotions throughout the game. Like,
well, Sean, you guys have done great so far. I know that lactic acidosis is probably taking John's right arm right now. Well done so far. Yeah. I'm not. Am I wrong?
I'm an Olympic athlete, John.
Sean, it's great to see you. Thanks for dropping by at the end of practice this morning. Be safe getting out there to Northern California. We'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Take care.
All right, Shusty, let me continue. I mean, hey, look, you're getting like a videographer's credit for all of this stuff this morning, man.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. I would have been out, probably show you the pitch in the background, but it's raining, so I'm hanging out under the bleachers,
No, hey, dude, nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of magic that comes about this time of year with playoffs and everything. When I talk about Duluth as a soccer community, how have they continued to embrace this run that has had its moments of crazy this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think last year as we kind of, moved up the rankings and had a year, and all of a sudden, going through the year undefeated, and I think people really started to notice. And I always challenge people in the community that have never been out to a game, even if they are casual soccer fans, is get out here and see a game, and you're going to realize, like, what we have here as far as the product on the field. See you guys. But that's exactly it. It's like it's the culture that you build around a soccer club is that camaraderie. But and so when people come out here and watch one game, they never be like, okay, that was nice, but I don't need to do that anymore. They're always looking at the schedule for the next one. And so yeah, it's for soccer fans, and then right now our youth soccer in around this area is blowing up, and I'm just looking at a bunch of girls here that and boys that are doing an elite soccer camp, I think, coming out here right now. So you see that growth in the youth soccer around here, and they're coming to the games, and their parents are bringing them, and it's really just you can see it happening, and it's fun to be a part of it.
So, all right, one more time. What's the travel plans to Northern California?
So, yeah, we're going to hop on a plane. We're actually have to drive down to the Twin Cities in the wee hours of the morning on Friday. Get on a plane at 7, land in San Francisco, I believe, like 9:35. Then a couple people have to go get some vans. We got our hotel kind of set up and squared away. And then, and actually, see you guys. El Farolito did a great job, and kind of like they have a training pitch that they train at that they're allowing us to get a light session in on Friday afternoon. And then it's kind of, try to figure out, just like I was here in the Columbus coach, like getting our guys, I never show up for anything curling. If I have to travel more than 4 hours, we always take a day. Mm-hmm. So, with that travel, we're going to have the rest of that day and the next day to kind of rest, recover, see what they can see a little bit around probably the hotel area, probably not going to do much traveling within the city, and then get to the pitch and see what happens against a really, really good side. Obviously, the side we're going to play this coming Saturday is no joke. They were I think the farthest advancing NPSL team in the U.S. Open Cup, and they got guys with a lot of experience that played a long time, and we're just looking forward to it. It seems like the last 2 clubs we played are straight class, incredible teams, and it seems like the better the team that we show up to play against, just elevates our game and lets our players, their work shine. So it should be an incredible game.
No doubt. Looking forward to it. Duluth FC and El Farolito in the other national semifinal in the NPSL. Be safe, my friend. Have a week where everyone is healthy before you hop on planes. And I know that you'll be probably watching the stream or something like that and having a local viewing party. Am I wrong?
Well, we're going to have kind of we have a weekend with a bunch of our friends that we go out to a cabin, and it's actually our local. The friends are all soccer people that come to every game, so we will be having a watch party at Lake de Baggeman most likely, and and it's going to be a bunch of soccer people around, hopefully screaming for good things.
Fantastic. As always, my friend, it's great to see you. It's been a great run by Duluth FC. Be safe, be well, stay as dry as possible, and good luck this weekend. We'll catch up with you on the flip side.
Thank you, John.
All right, that's John Shuster. He's a mogul. He's a mogul in training. Oh, wait. Hang on. Wait. Trophies. There we go. We got trophies. Look at that.
I came walking. I'm like, oh, we got trophies.
So is it going to be like the Stanley Cup? Do you get a day with it, and do you get to do whatever you want with the trophy? Is that how this works?
Yeah, maybe. I think
I woke up on Sunday, and it was on my pillow next to me, so it's everywhere with me.
I guess John's got him now. I think our North trophy ended up with our captain for a few days.
Okay.
I got home from traveling, wasn't with them on the thing, and I came into my house and we have some players that live there, and I asked, "Where's my trophy?" And he's like, "The captain has it." I'm like, "Wait a minute, does he own the team?" I'm kidding. That ain't me. See you, boys.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, be safe, Shusty.
All right, see ya.
All right. So we got trophies. See, this is what happens. Shusty is amazing. I'm just going to say it right now. John Shuster is an amazing human being. He's very cool. And ever since Duluth FC came online in the NPSL, it's been really cool that he has been as open about the process and as willing to be on the show as possible to break everything down when it comes to what he's learning about the sport and what he's learning about being an owner and what he's learning about how to grow the game and these kinds of things. So very, very cool stuff. And the fact that he literally they won, and I reached out to him and I said, okay, your Tuesday's at 10 Eastern. Is this going to be okay? Instantly emails me back. Yep, we're good. So the fact that John Shuster, multiple medal winner in the 5-ring circus, I don't know if I can say the O word without getting into trouble with the IOC, but yeah, the 5-ring circus, multiple medal winner, gold medal winner in curling representing the United States of America, owner Duluth FC, and having to piece together a 2,200-mile bus ride in the round of 8 to get to Pennsylvania and get to Pittsburgh for this matchup that they had, that they won. And you heard, and literally in the email that he sent me, he's like, oh my God, you won't believe how we won. And so he sends me all of his notes. And I said, good, tell me all about it Tuesday at 10. And he's like, yep, be there. And so the fact that they had an early morning practice in Duluth this morning, and we're getting ready for the national semifinal. And considering the conversation that we had before, John, with Brett Teach about travel and what it's like for these lower division clubs to try and figure out how they're going to take 18 plus a traveling party. So you're talking probably in the neighborhood of 25 folks on a plane now to Northern California. And by the way, El Farolito, you've got to get their food. They're fantastic owners, but you got to get their food. So 2,200 miles on a bus to get to the round of 8 game in Pennsylvania. Win, turn around, come home. Now you're practicing again if you're Duluth FC and getting ready for a trip to Northern California. So you're going like Duluth to Minneapolis, flying from Minneapolis to, I'm guessing, San Francisco. I guess you're flying to SFO, having to organize all of that stuff after a win. And then for Columbus United, who is on the other end of the scale, Columbus United, they got stuck, if you remember Friday morning when we had Brett Teach on the show in the 9 o'clock hour, because I think Brett ended up being like a 9:45 guy. So Brett comes on at 9:45. He's in Hartsfield, Jackson. They're waiting to get on planes. They finally get on planes. They get to Houston. Then they get to Midland, Odessa. And because of the connections that Michael Hitchcock has, gets them to the matchup there against West Texas. They win there. Then they get stuck trying to get home. And then they have to rent vans to get home because, yeah, we'll get you home by Friday. And like, no, that's not going to work. We're kind of a team that's in a playoffs. Fine, just fly us to frickin', Pennsylvania at this point. So how it ends up for Columbus United, vans back, some fly, most vans. And you heard Brett say, for those of you that missed the interview, we'll post it to the app later, that they couldn't drop the vans off at the Columbus, Georgia airport because the Columbus, Georgia airport rental counter doesn't take one-way rentals. So they had to drive past their exit. They had to drive past their hometown to Atlanta, drop everything off, and then find ways back to Columbus. That's what Columbus United had to do to get home, to get ready for the national semifinal on the other side. That's what you're dealing with these days when it comes to travel with these lower division clubs. But thanks to Brett Teach for dropping by. And obviously Brett's like, no, we're not practicing today. So Brett Teach, Columbus United, if you're looking for practice in Columbus, they're all probably resting, recovering, sitting in hot baths and cold baths and showers and things and finding masseuses and trying to use their the muscle guns like CR39 endorses, those kinds of things. That's what Columbus United's doing this morning. Duluth made it home. They were practicing, and they were practicing in the rain. So there you go. That's your Final Four when it comes to the NPSL for 2024. And the schedule for those Final Four, for those Final Four teams to be going up against each other, it is in the national semifinals, FC Motown, Columbus United, El Farolito, and Duluth FC. And the starting time for the matchup in the left-hand side of the bracket is up in at FC Motown, and it's an opportunity to travel to the Northeast. And remember, Brett Teach said that they were busing. They were busing up north, and that was how it was going to be. They've made it to New Jersey as of a couple of hours ago as we are laying things out for you. And the time frame for that particular match, 7 o'clock. Game starts at 7, and so the playoff roadmap, and this is something that Columbus United laid out for everybody. Columbus United has traveled 4 states, 5 matches, 6,200 miles to get to the semifinals and get to take on FC Motown. So 7 o'clock start Eastern time. Follow along on all of your local providers and also follow along on the social media of each of the clubs and each of your favorite clubs as it is laid out and determined what it's going to look like for the right-hand side of the country in the one semifinal. The other semifinal, Duluth FC, the Blue-Greens are traveling to El Farolito to take on their friends out west out of the Golden Gate Conference. 6:30 Pacific time start at Kezar Stadium, historic Kezar Stadium. So you've got a 7 o'clock Eastern time. You've got a 9:30 Eastern time. So hopefully one match will be over and the other match will begin, and you'll have one running into the other on your Saturday. So that is the lineup to determine who's going to be in the championship for the NPSL. We're down to the Final Four. Semifinal winners will play August the 3rd to figure out who the champ is in the NPSL. That's your story about everything going on here in the NPSL, down to the Final Four. For everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Thanks for dropping by. Enjoy the action of the NPSL.